We're gonna have a lot of fun in this session, and so the whole point of this is to make sure that we dive into, from a start to finish perspective, dive into the tools, some apps, some things that I use, Jimmy uses, and that a lot of our top agents use on a daily basis, to everything from finding leads and marketing all the way through to actually managing the transaction, and then following up, as well as just staying on the top of their game as an agent. So we're going to go through it all. Obviously, we are going to probably run a little short on time, so we'll try and speed through a couple sections of this. But ultimately, that's the purpose of this. And then tomorrow morning, Jimmy and I are going to spend potentially up to 2 hours, if we need it, to go through how we actually leverage some of these tools to tell a story versus selling online, and drastically different things. And so you'll see tomorrow how some of these things that we're about to show you actually come to life and are really practical if you can get in the habit of using them every day. So let's dive in, Jimmy.
All right, you see my screen all right? We good?
Yep, I can see it.
All right, cool. So like Mike said, we're going to be spending some time today. We're going to talk tools of the trade, but it's not just about, hey, here's these awesome tools that you can use. We're going to teach you kind of how to leverage them, but we're also going through it, kind of do it a step-by-step basis of how you can use these in your marketing and your follow-up, even when you go under contract. So we really want to kind of shout out to some of these awesome tools that we have at Beggins and some of the other things that are out there to hopefully get you where you want to be when it comes down to your business. So overview, basically, this is how we're breaking it down. We're going to talk today about marketing and lead generation and what kind of tools we have that you can use to help on that aspect. Second step is going to be lead follow-up. So what do we have in place to help you with your leads that you have coming in? Now, some of this stuff we're going to hit harder tomorrow in the afternoon, where we're really going to dig in to some of the things that we have, but we at least want to show you what some of the capabilities are today. Obviously, after lead follow-up, we get someone under contract. How do you manage the deal? What do we have in place as a company to kind of help get you through from start to finish on a contract and even afterwards? And then we're going to end up the day talking about, staying up to date. Knowledge is power. We want to give you as much information as you can. And again, take which pieces that you want. But one of the great things with Beggins is we always stay up to date. If it's market, if it's technology, if it's something new, Mike finds something, he's like, I think this is really going to be a great avenue for us. We try it out, see if it works, but it's up to you to stay up to date. You can't just do the same old thing day in and day out. The market's changing, life is changing, the entire world is changing. You need to stay up to date. And we'll show you some tools that we have that you can stay up to date with. Step one, marketing and lead generation. All right, Mike.
Yep. So obviously I have talked a lot about Canva, and unless you've been living under a rock, you've either heard me talk about it, you've been using it, you've heard about it. They just had a massive IPO, and the girl who created it's like 32 years old and just became a billionaire. So it's an amazing platform, but at the agent level, it is free. Right now, obviously, there is a paid version of Canva, and I'm going to show you very quickly just some of the ways that I use it on a daily basis. But Canva is extremely powerful tool, and it's literally how we can create our content on a daily basis, right? So for those of you that work for us, you work for Beggins, you know that every single morning in your inbox, you get a post from me, right? With copy written, and there's usually a graphic from me as well. And so that's designed for you to go use on your own social channels. And 99% of the time, that piece of content was created in Canva. So Jimmy, I'm going to share my
I'll stop sharing so you can take that.
Okay. So these are just some of the things that I've created recently. And I think it actually shows a pretty good example of kind of what can be done and how you can use Canva, right? So everything from a Zoom background to regular posts to all sorts of things. Even now, especially on the paid side, if you do want to pay, and I think it's like $20 a month to have like the most expensive one, which gives you access to everything they have. You can even do video editing in here, right? So you legitimately can upload a video, cut it, you can add text on top of it. And so super, super powerful thing, right? So legitimately, all you have to do is come up, click create design. And from here, you'll see so many different templates. So the way most of you are going to use this is for Instagram or Facebook, and they're both 1080 by 1080. So literally you click on that. And from here, it's going to give me, especially for those that are not marketing based, you're not creative, right? You're a high analytical, and anything creative and graphic design and marketing is something that you kind of dread. I get it. But for you, that this is even more helpful because you don't have to know any of that, right? It's all point and click, and it's all templated out for you. So there's tons of templates in here, and you can even search, right? So let's just say I wanted to do a poll. I literally search poll, and it's got graphics and templates already done that are asking questions. And sometimes the questions are a great just post in general, right? And then sometimes you have to click and edit, but it's as simple as this. Like this might be a post just that you want to use just to get engagement, right? So maybe I like the post itself and I don't even need to edit anything, but obviously I don't need this here. So I'll delete that out. I'll change the colors. Now, obviously we're with Century 21, so you can load in the color. And if you guys want to write this down somewhere, the Vegas gold that we use for Century 21, the hashtag is hashtag B6A888. If you type that into anything that has a color swatch thing, the selector on it, you type that in, that will give you the tone of our Vegas gold. So I can simply change that. It's hashtag B6A888. And then you can do our dark gray. And now I've turned this pretty much already into a good post. Now, we do want to add our logo, so you can upload any of your own photos into this. For those of you that work for Beggins, our logos have been made available for you on begginsagents.com in the marketing hub. You'll see where you can download all of our different logos, as well as in the mobile app that you have access to. So just go there, download it, upload it into here. But once you have your logos into here, obviously I have a ton. You won't need all of them, but simply go find your logo. I'm going to find our company logo. Let's just say I want to use this one. Now, I've got a Vegas gold. This is a Vegas gold logo. That's even possible to edit. And all I have to do to edit that is simply change the tone of it. So maybe I want to make it white. I want to drag it down here, and I can make it smaller. I can drag it where I want. It's all point and click, guys. And just like that, I have the ability to now download this post and go use it. And that took what, 30 seconds? So this is how quick creating content is. And I could do literally a 2 or 3 hour class just on ways to use Canva alone, because you can create flyers in here. We can create posts. We can create anything pretty much graphic design related you want to create. We can create in Canva. So I could do a whole thing on this, but at its basic level for all of you watching, from a marketing perspective, creating content, getting engagement, doing those things, and we're going to dive into that heavily tomorrow morning. This Canva is a must-use tool in my opinion. Now, can you do some of this in Business Builder? Yes. And that's actually the next tool that Jimmy is going to dive into. So let me stop my share here.
I would say a takeaway from that anyways is, if you take away anything from today, it's grabbing these little pieces and putting them into your business. Mike does a great job every single morning sending all this stuff out. So again, I know we're going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. If you're not tech savvy, if you don't want to play around on the computer, we're giving you content that actually makes sense for what's happening in the market. Some of it's fun, just to and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Use what he sends out. That's a post today, easily a post today. Yep. That he's making.
Yeah, that's what that morning post is literally designed to give you something to push out every single day. So at least 5 days a week, you have a post going out to your sphere. And as Jimmy said, we will definitely dive into that tomorrow.
All right. So So now we have Business Builder. For those of you who don't know how to get to Business Builder, you can save your email up at the top or your web address at the top, but just go into 21 Online, which we're going to show you a little bit later in this presentation. But go into 21 Online, search Business Builder. There's actually some quick, easy links on the right. I always type in Business Builder and I get right into here. So this is actually a phenomenal Century 21 tool that we have that is specifically pointed towards Beggins, obviously, and the Century 21 brand. You can set up contacts in here, drip campaigns, monthly drip campaigns. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that. What I want to show you, which I mean, honestly, you get your database in here, and we're going to show you how to do that tomorrow, how you can set every single person that is in your that's in your sphere, or that's going to be in Business Builder or Zap, basically your CRM, and how to set everybody up on a drip campaign where they can get monthly newsletters that are already done, ready for you. Okay, so you don't have to go in and make anything up. You can if you want to, but you can also send it out for holidays too. And if the more information that you gather on them, you could do birthdays, anniversaries, and things like that. But a couple easy ways to kind of get into marketing. What I do, obviously here, you're going to have all your contacts that have been loaded from Zap into Business Builder. You can actually go here to the marketing center. And this is pretty sweet because there's a lot of different things that you can actually find in here. So I'm going to actually go to one of some of my designs just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do. So for instance, this is one that I did for Thanksgiving, and I actually downloaded that and sent that to everything. And this was already ready, done in Century 21. It puts my email address, it puts my picture, it puts all of this in here. Now I can, again, adjust some things on this and talk and change it up if I want to, but you don't have to with this. It's just already in the marketing section of Business Builder, and all you have to do is attach your clients to it, and you're good to go. It's again, it can be simple, or you can make it as hard as you want. This was a listing that I did. So you want to know where you can find some really cool that you can print at the office. Doesn't cost you anything for color photos, right? You come in here, I print a whole bunch of these, and I can walk around and start knocking on doors and do just sold call door knocking if I wanted to, or I can turn it into a postcard because they give you so many different avenues that you have there. And a lot of different ways you can, again, these are things that I already made. But again, you can go back to your market center, look at your campaigns, manage designs. You'll definitely want to take a little bit of time in here. But let's say, for instance, I want to look at print marketing. So these are all the things that Century 21 has already done for us that will be branded as Century 21 Beggins with your picture, your face all over them. So you can do postcards. If you like to door knock, you could do flyers. So let's say, for instance, or you can do guides. But let's say, for instance, oh, look at this. This one talks about, it's like some Bitcoin growth. I mean, this is just really cool information. So this is stuff that's provided for us September 2021. So this is something for this month that if you have a newsletter that's set up, this actually can automatically get sent to your entire sphere. And let me show you how to do that just real quick, because I know that's something that people will want to look at. We're going to go back to our contacts. I'm just going to pick one. Okay, so you can see here, this is actually all the contact information. And this is, you can see here, this is what I've sent them: April, May, June, July, August. I didn't do anything. I just sent them up on a campaign, and boom, they're getting everything that they need. Everything that they need. And the cool thing is, if they click on anything on an email, I'll go directly to your website that's branded to you. And if they start asking questions, you start getting leads from it, basically. So I'm going to stop there, keep moving. Stop that.
All right, cool. So the way to look at Business Builder too, beyond the email side, which Jimmy's going to dive more into tomorrow, is essentially it's a similar tool to Canva, right? In its purpose of being able to create templates and design. It is for those that work for Century 21, right? And this is not a Beggins tool. Business Builder is a Century 21 tool. So anyone with 21 online access has access to their Business Builder. It is an internal tool. It doesn't cost you any money. It's already there. A lot of the info is already personalized. I personally, because I'm using Canva primarily for social content and to create things that are outside the box, I prefer Canva for that purpose. But if it was, creating something like Jimmy said, postcards, something like that to print, then I do think Business Builder has a lot of value from their templates in that perspective. And then when you get into email marketing and newsletters, which again, we'll dive in more tomorrow, then I think it has a really big value add as a free tool. So certainly something to have and use that's in your toolbox, right? So go back to the presentation. I think where Lumen 5 is next.
Yeah, Lumen 5, you want to grab that one?
All right, so I'll share my screen then, and we will dive into Lumen 5. Now, I've talked about Lumen 5. I've not talked about it in a while, but this tool is super powerful. Again, free. There is a paid version if you want to take it to another level. But for those of you that know you should and want to use video, but don't know how to edit, don't like to grab your camera, you don't want to be on camera, there's a million reasons why you are not creating video content like you should. However, we're going to eliminate all those excuses today because there are tools and things out there that allow you to create really engaging video. And the reason video is so powerful is we know that people are more likely to consume it, right? They just are. They're inundated with pictures. Most people stop and will stop their scroll on social to watch an engaging video. So Lumen 5 is a super unique and easy way to create video content about anything, right? And one of my favorite ways to use it is legitimately you can take any article that you find interesting and turn it into a video within minutes without really having to do anything. So as an example, I'm just going to go to Google and we're just going to search real estate market. Perfect. And we're going to pick an article. All right. So let's see what pops up here. Home builder sentiment improves first time in 3 months. That sounds like something I might want to share with my clients, right? Interesting article from CNBC. So I click on the article and obviously you'd want to read it, but for this exercise, we're going to assume this is something we do want to share.
Yes.
So all I have to do is now copy this URL and I'm going to go back into Lumen 5. I'm going to click new video. And you'll have, depending on if you're on the free or not, the biggest differences, and I'll go through them as we get through the process, is you can say brand presets if you're on the paid. You have a few more template options if you're on the paid. But the free is very good. So at the agent level, don't be overwhelmed. Absolutely use the free. So all I have to do is pick a template. What do I want the video to look like? Right. And so it literally could be anything and I can change the colors as I get going on, but we're doing news. So you know what, let's pick this one. So now where am I going to use it? Where am I going to post the video? For most of you, that will be in the news feed. So you're going to pick one of these two. If you want to do a quick one for your stories for Instagram and Facebook, you'd pick this one, right? Just changes the way that it looks, but we'll just pick the news feed. And so I picked that. And once this loads, this is how stupid simple it is to create a video on literally anything. So all I have to do is come up here where it says paste URL to the blog or article. I'm going to right click and paste that link that I copied a minute ago. And I'm going to click import. And it's going to import that article. So here's the article. And now I can literally pick, by just clicking on the text, different sections of the article, and it will add it into video form. So I click the title and boom, there it goes, creates a slide for it. And it uses AI technology based on the words to try and pick background media that matches. So it even takes some of that away from me. Now I can change that if I don't like what it picked, right? But very simple to do. So now I've got, look, it just as an example, it read the word lumber, and the AI says, okay, this article is about lumber. Let's pull in some media about lumber. Boom, pulls it in. That's how easy this is, right? I don't even have to do anything. So now I come through, I read through the article, and I just literally, I can pick every piece of the article, or I can pick the most important sections that I think my sphere will care about. So maybe I want to add this one. And every time I click add, it's going to add that slide. And then I can pick this one. So maybe I want to skip this, and you get the point, right? So as I pick in sections of this article, it's pulling out and creating slides for it.
Yep.
And I'll do one more. So we'll just come down to the end, and I want to put this one in. Now, anything that I don't want, I simply can delete. And if I don't like where the text is in an image, I can change that. I can come in, I can edit the text, and I can edit the background. I could edit how long each slide is. Okay, so all of that's point, click, edit, very easy to do. Now, if I come over to media, again, I can change that background. So it's gonna pull in something for you, but if I don't like it, it's super simple for me to change. I literally come over to media and I can search anything. So I could search, let's just search real estate. And so maybe one of these video clips matches right with what I want. And so all I have to do is click it, drag it over, drop it, and it will change to that.
Yep.
Simple as that, right? Very simple to do. And I can do that for every single slide. At the end of it, I can pick style. So if I don't like the current colors, I can change the primary font, and I can change the color scheme. All I have to do, I don't like the green. Great. Remember, our hashtag is hashtag B6A888. So I can add that in. There's our Vegas gold color. I want that to be the color. And you can see that I can literally come in and edit that. So now our highlight color is my brand, on pace with my brand. Okay. At the very end, I can show an outro. And when I show the outro, I can add my logo. So you can put your logo, you can type your name and information in here, and then I can add music.
I don't think you get that with the free version, right? Or do you still get that?
Music? Yeah,
you can add music, but
you don't get the outro unless you're on the paid.
Which is okay.
Which is fine, right? Because you're gonna, guys, remember where you're posting this, right? The outro is really not bringing that much value anyways, because you're posting it on your account. So everyone's going to reach out to you through that anyways, of wherever you're posting it. So I can come through the music, right? Pick a song, I can listen to them, pick which one I want. Yeah, just play it and say, okay.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's it. It's it. That's definitely the one.
That's definitely it. You have no idea.
I select Tokyo Nights and I hit preview. And it's going to load the video for me. It's going to create it. It's going to render it. And here it goes. Right. And so you get the point. This created a nice little video for me.
Yep.
With music in the background. And if I need to edit it, I edit it. If I like it, I click publish. It'll take about 2 minutes. And then it's in your account and it'll give you the ability to download it right to your computer and then go upload it wherever you want. It also, if you want to link your accounts, you can share right from this onto those platforms. I always suggest, guys, because there is a big issue right now on social with shadow banning, right? Which is basically whenever Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of the platforms discover that you are using a third party to post on the platform, they will do what's called shadow banning. So they will show that post to less people because they have less control over that content. And so it makes them nervous. So they reward when you directly upload things into the platform. So whether it's a post, whether it's a photo, even if you're using a scheduling app, I highly suggest using that to remind you and then going directly in and uploading this. So I would download this video, simply go to Facebook, Instagram, wherever I'm going to upload it, upload the video in, and there I've got a video post about a relevant article that my sphere would care about. And this could be done on anything, guys. It could be done on an article on puppies. It could be done literally anything. Right.
Well, I'll tell you, like, so one of the ways one of the ways that I use it as an agent also is I always get the Realtor Newsletter, a couple times a week, and there's always some good content that's in there. And instead of just posting a link saying, hey, go look at this, using Lumen 5 for something like that is kind of cool. It's just kind of cool. It makes you, it differentiates you, from what everybody else is doing. And then also, new listings. Why not use that and put some great content and great, verbiage around what's going on in the home. Again, everybody looks at content differently. Some people like pictures, some people like video, some people like to read why they're watching stuff. So it kind of really knocks out a lot of different options just based on what your, what your sphere and everything wants.
Glad you said that. And on the paid version, there's a new feature that they just added that you can actually record a voiceover. So that was always the one thing that was missing, is you could never record over top to add audio.
That's
They've
great.
now added that feature, so you can actually add a voiceover.
I'm definitely buying that.
Jeff has already told me. Jeff has already told me that he is more than willing to rent his voice out because he has that radio voice for like 10 cents an hour. So it's a really good deal.
That's not bad.
Definitely text Jeff about renting his voice out for 10 cents an hour.
That's better than what I charge. I'm about like 20 cents an hour for my Batman voice. Do some voiceovers for you that way.
It's worth it though.
It's worth it. It totally is. Look, I feel like Craig is just staring at us right now. He's just looking at us, looking down at us like, hey, come on, get it back.
He looks so angry. And then Jeff's trying to figure out why he's so angry at us.
What's going on? Kat looks like her hair's blowing in the wind and everything too. She's just like, it's nice. Yeah. All right, cool. We're not in big trouble. Come on, Jamie. We're good. All right. So I guess I'm hitting next right now. We're going to talk quickly about marketing with Zap. This is, again, we're going to spend more time on this tomorrow, but also this obviously is your CRM. Don't look at my auto compliance stuff. I need to get that taken care of. I have a lot of updates to do. This will get taken care of. Trust me. I think this is the first time ever I've done a training and I'm not at 0 across the board. That's why Craig's looking at me. That's why he's looking at me. Anyways, so this is similar to Business Builder, but how I would say to use Zap for any type of marketing is it's really going to be more on the lines of posting and trying to get people to your website. So the way that I like using it, which I think everybody on this call, anybody in Beggins can actually do, is you can go down and find a property to kind of just, throw out there, directly connect it to Facebook, throw out a nice picture, and I'll have a link and everything on there for you too, but it'll bring them back here. So instead of just throwing a picture, say, take a look at this great house, you can actually bring them back into your CRM. And if they want to get around and start looking a little bit more on it, they're going to have to put their information in. And then all of a sudden you have a lead that just kind of popped through. Well, Jimmy, there's not a lot of houses out there for sale. I don't even have any right now. They go so quick. I don't have an opportunity. And I just don't have any. I'm helping a ton of buyers. Well, guess what? You can go in now. You talk to a Beggins listing is a Beggins listing, right? So Mike has a new listing coming on the market. And I see it pop up and I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. Can I go ahead and share this? I can go in, find the property and search for it here on Zap. And we're just going to actually do a search just for shits and giggles. Oops. Nothing. Okay, that's not what I want. I got to go Apollo Beach real quick. Sorry. I'm just going to do this real quick. All right, cool. So let's just say this listing right here is Century 21. Okay. And I want to be able to, I want to share this and get people on my social side to come slide back in to my website. What I can do down here is I can directly email it, or I can come here at Facebook. This is how easy it is. Find one, but talk to the agent, find one for the office. Now you have to log into Facebook, but this literally will go directly to Facebook and I can post it and it'll have the link. You can type something in there to say, hey, come take a look at this awesome home, whatever it is, and done. That took me faster than your Canva of 20 seconds. That took me about 6 seconds to go into Zap, find a house, hit attach to Facebook, and boom, I have some marketing and possibly some lead generation just from that. That's all I want to talk about with Zap really on the marketing standpoint, just because most of it is you do have some follow-up and we're going to hit that later. And I don't want to hit it for 6 years. now, today, and tomorrow. So busted,
Yep.
Jimmy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because you're busted out of compliance.
I
You
know.
were busted on
I don't know what
camera
you're
with
talking
it being
about.
recorded
No.
and Craig
No.
looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a good point with the listings, right? And I think the other opportunity you have is go talk to the new builders, right? Anyone who is building and has new models would very likely would allow you to also market those properties. You also have the new projects that we have that are exclusive, well, not exclusive anymore. They just hit the open market, but that Jeff's doing out in the Gulf beaches. Those are opportunities to market. And then guys, most listing agents that are within our company, if you email them, if I had a listing and you email me and say, hey, can I market your listing? The answer is yes, right?
Oh, yes.
Most agents are going to say yes, because what is my main priority? Sell the house, right? That's what I want.
Yeah.
And so the more action, the more eyeballs I can get on that property, the better, especially as the market normalizes, right? And I know that my listing isn't going to get 112 offers anymore, and it's not going to sell in 4 days. I need all the help I can get. So if someone comes to me who's a new agent and doesn't have any listings and says, hey, can I market your listing? Yeah. What do you need? Right? Go take it. And so at the end of the day, you always have a listing that you can market. Always. If you're with us, you always have a listing. You just need to make sure you go through the proper channels. So I love that aspect. Okay. So this next area is where we can pick up a little time. I am not going to dive heavily at this moment into social ad engine. And the reason being, I've done a lot of classes on it. If you are with Century 21, not just Beggins, Century 21, social ad engine is an exclusive tool with Century 21. Long story short, Facebook came to Realogy, partnered with Realogy, and said, hey, let's create a really easy to use platform that we don't have to worry about the compliance of being in fair housing, which was a major issue. Facebook gets sued, right? So they create this platform that basically ensures that as an agent, you can market yourself and or any listing in a few minutes running Facebook and Instagram ads without having any compliance issues. You'll get really fast approvals. They run like true ads, not like boosted posts. Not going to go on that rant, but it is a much better option, right, than going and trying to build Facebook ads if you're not familiar with doing Facebook ads. With all of that said, I am still not convinced that we are at a point in the market where we need to be doing a lot of social ad engine and spending money in that way.
Right.
The only time right now in this current market and what I see in the near future is if you have an analytical client, an analytical seller, someone that cares about data. It may be worth going in and spending the $69 on a listing, even if you know that it may not sell it, because of the data and reporting that you get back.
Yep.
If I have a highly analytical seller that I know will find value in that, then I'm going to do it, because it's worth the $70 for me then to go send that report and say, hey, look how many people were viewed and clicked on and looked at the listing, right? And I get a nice data report. And if that's going to bring value to my client, I'm going to do it. Outside of that, most of you do not follow up well enough to really make social ad engine worth it. They are internet leads, and they are cold internet leads at that. So it takes follow-up. Social ad engine is 100% a numbers game. You will drive a ton of leads on almost every campaign you do. And then you need to have the time and or process set up on the back end to follow up with every single one of those leads multiple times before you actually get something out of it. And most of you aren't going to do that effectively. And so we need to do a whole class just on that. So I'm going to skip over most of social ad engine, but it is a powerful tool. And as the market normalizes, it will become even more of a useful tool again.
And my only two cents on it, we'll move on, is I like the fact that they made changes from the first go around where it was just about promoting your listings, and again, you got the analytical side. Yeah, that's awesome. But now they actually have some tools where you can promote yourself Where I don't know if you've seen ads like this already on social or not, but where it's like, hey, I'm a local market expert, blah, 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 blah. You click on it, it takes you to a website and they start getting information. So there are some ways for newer agents, if you don't know how to market, you don't know how to spend money, you're not sure what to do and do it correctly, social ad engine would be a great opportunity to kind of get your name out there possibly.
Yep.
So
And
that's all I have to say about
they
that.
they are beta testing, which we were part of, the ability to actually add in your own custom audience now as well. So what that would give us the ability to do, for those of you that have big spheres, we would actually be able to take your sphere, your database, upload that into Facebook as a custom audience and only run ads to that sphere.
Yep.
However, during the beta, we discovered all sorts of problems. So it's not 100%. When that becomes an actual component of it, I will do an entire session on how we can execute that and why that's a good idea. But we're not there yet. So let's move on. I think the next thing we're going to talk about is Cognito forms and Jot forms. This will be a pretty quick thing. And I did talk about this the other day on my Marketing Monday. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So for me, I love leveraging intake forms. And I think as an agent, there's a couple ways that these things can be used and, in my opinion, are underutilized from a marketing perspective, even at open houses, right? So I personally would never do an open house where I have only a physical sign-in sheet. If you want to have a physical sign-in sheet so that you get an old school person in there that would rather do that, cool. But in my opinion, having a digital option that allows me to capture their information right away and make it super simple and keep it in a convenient way that I can now use it to upload into Zap and I can do all sorts of things with it is much more beneficial. And you can do it for free very, very easily on a platform like Cognito Forms. So cognitoforms.com, it's 100% free. You can create as many forms as you want, literally all point and click new form, title it, and you can ask all sorts of questions. You can require the answers. So we can, let's just say this is an open house. I can title it. And then all I have to do is click on the plus box. And let's say I want their name. Where is it? Name. Yep. And I want their phone number. And I want their email. And I want those all just say to be required. All I have to do is come down, highlight the field, always. Same thing here, always. Same thing here, always. Okay. And then from a marketing perspective, I can also add in a little disclaimer, which gives me power to follow up with them, which we're going to go through here in a minute. So I can add in some content and say, so all I have to do is click on this and say something simple as, by submitting this form, my keyboard would actually type, that'd be awesome. Whoop, hold on, click the wrong button. There we go. Okay. Okay, well, for some reason my computer's not wanting to respond to me at the moment. But all I would do is literally type here, by submitting this form, you give me permission to respond to you via text, email, and or communicate with you via text, email, and phone. That's it. Now, when they come in, sign up, give me that information, I can now leverage that in a lot of ways. The only other way that I really like using forms, and I like jotforms.com for this, again, it's free. Jotforms does limit the total number. So if you create a lot of these, you will have to eventually get a paid account with Jotforms. But I do like their styling a little better, to the point where this website is 100% built on Jotforms. So this is actually just a form. So I use this to market Home Partners, which is our rental program. So you can add a domain to it. So ours is rent with C21 Beggins.com. And when they come to this form, this is not a website. This is not built out on anything else. This is literally built out on Jotforms. So I can make this look as nice as I want. And capture their information at the same time, right? So they click start, they select their area, click next. And then I take them through the requirements of Home Partners, right? Which is income, credit, do I meet the timeline? And they put in their information and they hit submit. So telling me that if you wanted to go market, whether it was to absentee owners, for sale by owners, renters, leveraging a form like this, that's all point and click, that could be built in minutes, that's free. And all you have to do is point a domain to it. And now I can take this link and go advertise that on a post on Facebook or Instagram and link them out to it and get them here. Right? It's a simple, easy way for you to market yourself and get some leads in the door. So that's how I would leverage these form providers, open houses especially, and then to market special programs like Realtor, Knock, or Home Partners is how I would personally use it. So just wanted to share that. Stop my share here. And then I think, Jimmy, you are up next. What do we got next?
Well, the next one was BUP. I don't know if you want to talk about that real quick, and then we'll go to step two. We got about like 10 minutes. So
cool. I'll talk about it very quickly. So boop.io, and this is kind of leading into our follow-up. So one of the most common ways that you guys meet people or should meet people is when you're out and about, right? Birthday parties. I'm at a bowling alley, I'm at the grocery store, I'm out and about, and spark up a conversation. We use all the skill sets that Jeff and Chris and Thomas and everyone has talked about earlier today. I've connected with them. I'm building trust with them. Now it's time for us to part our separate ways. And what a lot of you end up doing is handing them a business card that they are not going to ever look at ever again. So what Boop does is, and this is not just exclusive to Century 21, but literally it's this thing right here on the back of my phone, and it is a little tag. And all I have to do if I met Jimmy is say, hey, Jimmy, let me see your phone, tap the back of his phone. And when that happens, boop, right?
Oh my God, I got your contact info. What?
Boop. It pops up, right? And it now gives him access to click that button when it pops up on his phone, and takes him to my V card. So all my information, to the point where he just clicks save. All my contact is now on his phone. And I have a landing page built out on there with links to anywhere I want. My listings, I can link out to different services I offer. I can link out to anything I want from that page that he gets loaded to. So this is a really engaging way in a 2021 world to connect with someone that I meet on the go and have them make sure they have all my information at the touch of a button that's completely customizable. Okay, so it's a really unique tool. Boop.bio. If you're interested, you can buy the tags there.
Also, go look for his email that he sent out, where you can actually sign up and get it all taken care of. So maybe we can send that back out. All right, cool. So we spent time talking about marketing and lead generation, right? So now what do you do once we start getting these leads? Well, I'll hit a few of these really quick, and then you can take over and hit the middle part there. But we have kind of talked about Zap and Business Builder already. Those are two platforms that allow you to do some follow-up. Zap will allow you to actually set up custom based on the type of client that it is and how often, what kind of touch points need to be. And on the bottom here, I talked about Opcity, Ojo, and Zillow. Again, we're going to talk more about that tomorrow, but they have their own app, CRM, whatever you want to call that. You have to keep everything updated to continue to get leads. So, Zap, if you stay out of date like I did, guess what? I'm not getting any leads. Nothing's coming through. And that means I'm not following up with my clients. Same thing with Opcity, Ojo, and Zillow. These are all tools that we have to help with, with lead generation and get you some leads. You got to follow up with it. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. So I'll let you hit on GMass, Textly, and Zap here real quick.
Yeah. So for those three, if you have not gone and watched the Marketing Monday training we did last Monday, I highly encourage you, because we did an extensive overview of GMass and Zapier. But the Cognito forms, everything we just talked about, is why these three really matter. If you're not doing these other steps from a marketing perspective, these three platforms and tools become irrelevant to you. But if you are, if I collect someone's email and phone number, GMass will give me the ability to send a mass email to them and customize the campaign, right? It attaches right to our Gmail, which C21 B email is built off of. And Zapier lets me automate that process. And we went over that extensively, where as soon as someone fills out that form at an open house, boom, I can have that email go to them. And Textedly is just one of many tech platforms that I like it, but there's a lot out there. But I cannot mass text unless I get their permission, which is why using forms like Cognito Forms is so important to get that disclosure on there, because once they've filled that out, I can text market to them. And so now I can take and send one text to all 30 people that showed up, right? And that's super powerful, and I can do that ongoing. So those 3 platforms are great follow-ups, but you just have to have the proper steps in place in order to be able to use the tool.
Yep. So then as we keep moving, the next step is going to be managing the deal. So after you've gone through lead, now we're going to, again, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about buyers and, you know, the bulletproof buying process and that kind of stuff. But once we get under contract, what tools do we have in place that can help keep you and your client together from start to finish of the transaction? So obviously we have Loop. If you have not used Loop or got into Loop yet, please, there's videos all over the place for that, which we're going to talk about towards the end of this presentation, where to find everything. And the next one, I think, which kind of makes us different, honestly, is the critical date timeline. So the critical date, this is one page, but it's just broken into 2, so I could, you know, make it up a little bit bigger for you. But this actually is a phenomenal tool if you haven't been in the business for a very long time, or you're doing a shit ton of business and you got to keep up with everything and what's going on. This is very important when you look at what goes into this from start to finish, just making sure that you stay on top of your dates and times. One of the things that Beggins just in general, we're literally contract gurus, professional, we know our stuff when it comes down to it. And this just helps to make sure that we stay on point. So we're not doing anything that could possibly detriment either the seller or the buyer. All right, so a couple things there. Now we're going to hit up step 4, which is staying up to date. So we've gone over a decent amount of information today. I'm sure we could probably talk like tomorrow for 2 hours. That's not going to be enough time for us, Mike. You know, we're going to be able to rock that out. We're going to be able to handle that. What I wanted to do is just show you a few things and where to find them, so you can make sure that you can stay up to date with the technology that's going on, the trainings that we have happening. The first one on here, Mike, I'll let you talk about the C21 Beggins app.
Yeah, so this is just a free mobile app that a lot of you are using on a regular basis. But if you're not, go to your app store, search C21 Beggins, download this app. Basically, this is designed to be an open resource for you at the touch of a button while you're on the go. So everything from our daily training that we're doing every morning gets loaded in here by category. Our tactical content's in here. You can even watch the live daily training stream from the app if you needed to, instead of logging into Zoom. Our scripts, I mean, you name it, it's on this tool. So I highly recommend you guys using it. For those of you that use BegginsAgents.com regularly, which Jimmy's going to touch on here in a minute, this is literally yeah, exactly. This is the mobile version of BegginsAgents.com. So it's just meant to be something that you can have in the palm of your hand and have access to all the tools and training and coaching that we provide at the touch of a button. So highly encourage you to download that app if you've got space on your phone.
And then we have the Next Level Resource Center, which kind of tags in along with everything that we've talked about. It's kind of broken down. It's definitely a great training, especially for new agents coming on board, what to do week 1, week 2, prospecting, social. It works hand in hand with BegginsAgents.com to deliver the best experience when it comes down to training content. So if you're not sure where to start, you're like, what should I go after? Start with one of these 3 avenues to get into to see which is your best bet. But everybody has access to the Next Level Resource, BegginsAgent.com, and the app to ensure that you have everything that you need. And then a few other ones too. That's my alarm saying it is time. A few other websites for specifically Century 21 and Beggins. We obviously talked about Social Ad Engine. You have 21 Online. You have the Brand Studio, which we didn't even get a chance to talk around that. You have Business Builder. There's a lot of different avenues that you can get this information from Again, if you start with the other options that we just did, it's going to point you to what you have here too. But if you want to go directly through Century 21's info, this is where you do it.
Yeah, and
That's it.
The reason that these are so important, especially the app, Beggins Agents, Next Level Resource Center, is because for a lot of you that just watch this, obviously we're trying to give you as much value and create as much context with you and awareness as possible in these 45-minute to an hour long sessions. And it's too much to condense. Right now, tomorrow, Jimmy and I will have almost 2 hours to go through, so we'll have more time to actually get practical with you and execute and show you those things. We don't have time in this hour-long block. So what those are, though, is that if anything that we talked about is of interest to you, if I go into Beggins Agents or go in the Next Level Resource, I can actually search and find detailed trainings like the training we did last Monday, or let's say, Zapier was of interest or Canva was of interest. We've done training sessions specifically on those platforms. So now you can go in and say, yep, you know what? I don't care about Lumen 5, but I really care about Canva. I don't care about Canva, but I really like Lumen 5. Great. We did a training on Lumen 5. Go into Beggins Agents, search, go into the search bar, search Lumen 5. It's going to pull that training up. Now you can dive in at a deeper level, right? And so that's why these resources matter. And the more knowledge you have of all these tools that are sitting in your toolbox, the better off you're going to be, right? So these are all things you have access to that are either very inexpensive or free, mostly. And I just can't imagine why we wouldn't want to use them. And the only reason I can think of is you just don't know about them, right? And that's really the point of this session today.
That's right. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. And look at this. We're done. Jeff, take notes. We're done 3 minutes early so that we can actually transition to the next talk.
Yes. And the next talk we're going through is the last session of the day. You got Ashley and myself.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about leveraging Beggins programs and partnerships. Woo!
Woo!
That's right.
I'm gonna bring Ashley in. I will see all of you guys tomorrow morning as Jimmy and I dive into storytelling, and I promise you that is going to be worth the 2 hours. And
promise.
So
that's right.
See you at 10. And Jimmy, good luck on this next session.
Thank you very much.